Hello and welcome to Mind Your Mind podcast, an exciting place to be for both of us, me and Ozan. I'm Hina Malik, and today we are going to talk about another topic related to the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul, the heart, and that is resilience.
Resilience.
Are you excited for this topic, Ozan? Actually, this was your suggestion, so
It was, yeah. Honestly, I have been dealing with this for my entire life, and for the last couple of weeks, especially intensely, I was working on this topic. For me, I think it's one of the most important topics. Whatever we talk about, if we don't have resilience, none of it matters. I feel like that, so I am very excited about it.
yes, me too, because I think it is all the more exciting for you to talk about it because your book is about handling emotions, and resilience is the ability, the best ability to handle your emotions. And I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about it. For me, as far as I understand resilience, I understand it as a complex phenomena, a complex concept, because, and at the same time, it's intriguing because uh, one person can embrace the tough times while another person can simply crumble in it. So, what is it that makes the two people so different, so unique, and how do they approach about the same thing in different ways? uh, I would not say that one is more resilient, but I would say that uh, some resilience is definitely something that you can learn, you can improve on, you can work on as you go about situations and circumstances in your life. But what is it that makes you work on it? What is it that initiates something in you that you want to bounce back, you want to bounce up again, and not just bounce up but bounce forward? That is something that I would want to talk about.
Exactly. It was a beautiful intro to the whole topic, I think, and you went right into the scar that left by the lack of resilience, I think. I
Yeah, I
think
didn't
that's, yeah.
do it the conventional way that we have been doing,
No,
but
no, I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Basically,
Okay.
bouncing, bounce back, bounce forward. Bouncing is the key here, right? Uh, because everybody gets on the floor. We all meet the floor. It's impossible not to meet the floor. We all have difficult times. We all have challenging times. We all have problems, and you will always have them in your life. No matter how wealthy you are, no matter how strong you are, no matter how mentally balanced you are, I think you will never be in a situation where things don't bug you, you know? Like, unless you are the perfect monk who is just sitting down and meditating and not doing anything, things will disturb you. They will punch you. They will knock you out. You will end up in the floor. This is a life. And, in this whole self-help industry, there's one point which I don't like is how much they don't stay on the resilience topic. They always focus on growing. They always focus on working on yourself. And no matter how much you work on yourself, you will end up on the floor. That's the point I think many people just miss. And it creates some sort of unrealistic expectations that once you work on yourself, you work on your emotions, you work on your guilt, you work on your anger, you work on your fear, and you overcome them, life is completely different. But until the life knocks you out again. And it
Hmm.
happens with everybody. Whoever work with
Yeah.
psychologists, whoever work with coaches, whoever work on themselves using all the books and so on, they know they've been there. They thought they overcome it, and boom.
It's a new challenge again.
Exactly. A right hook, right in your chin. That's how life works. And that's completely normal.
Yeah.
What is not normal is how you react to it. And that is where we come to the point of resilience. As you said, I think it can be learned because it's a mindset. I think the whole
Hmm.
resilience, you can say it's a skill, but first it's a mindset. How you see those moments. Do you see those moments and you go like, I'm back where I started. It all sucks again. It doesn't work. Or you look at it as just a different challenge and then you overcome it. If you have that
So,
mindset, you will come over it, right?
yeah. So, is it like, is it something like, you're training your mind to see everything, every challenge optimistically? Is it like an optimistic way of thinking? How is it different from being just optimistic to being resilient?
I think there's a bit more than just optimism. Optimism, in a way, is necessary, in a way that optimism not towards your environment, like it's going to be okay kind of thing. Optimism within yourself that I can handle it. I can handle it better than I used to. I'm a better person than I was yesterday.
Displaying resilience is actually being able to handle it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And do you have that confidence or not? So a little bit optimism is required on your ability. So more like a confidence, self-confidence kind of thing. But not only that, it's about, you're expecting the challenges. If you expect them to come, if you are ready for them to come, you invite them to come because you're confident, then you are resilient. Then you will solve them.
Yeah, I
Simple
love
as
that.
that.
Yeah, that's the right thing you said, that when you are really expecting challenges to come your way, because life is on, it's an ongoing thing, and challenges are bound to have come your way. If challenges don't come your way, maybe you're not living fully.
Exactly. And I think also one of the realistic expectations people have is like they expect the entire life and universe to completely change after you fix something in yourself, like magic. And that doesn't really happen because if you expect miracles, it's not going to happen and you will be heartbroken.
True.
But I think the magic is within yourself. If you think you can overcome it no matter what, and if you accept the outcome of the life, what life is bringing you, I think that is the magic within yourself, and that requires resilience. Well, what I'm talking about is like, whatever you work on, even if you're completely strong, completely self-confident, someone will bring that little disturbed child. Someone will
Yeah.
find a new childhood trauma that you have, bring back the old patterns. Old patterns are still there. They will come
Hmm.
up. They will try to come up because you lived them for years, right? So they will try to come up. But how do you react when they come up? Do you react like, okay, whatever I did doesn't work? It was just a waste of time and the entire life sucks. Or, or, okay, I realize it's coming back. Oh, time to work on it a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's self confidence on, I can handle it, I have handled it before, and I sure can handle it now as well, with my improved version, if I can only handle it better. So yeah, I think confidence is a key element here, that self confidence, that self awareness, uh, and belief that you are competent to handle this state or the circumstance that you have already done in the past, and now because of that you are now an improved version of yourself, so it will be easier to handle this again. So yeah, this ability to understand yourself, to be more confident, comes when you have already acted as a resilient person before, and now you are even more improved. as a resilient person. So, of course, it's a process of improvement throughout. But when I think about, the physical aspect of resilience, like when I used to study in physics, that a resilient material or resilient object is something that you stretch as much as possible and it comes back to its original shape. uh, in case of humans, I believe it doesn't just come back to its original shape, it gets a new shape which is even better than the original one. So I think that's where the physical and emotional aspect of resilience differ. That at the physics level, it is just regaining back what you already had. But at the emotional and mental level, you are becoming a better version of yourself.
You put it so beautifully there. Exactly. That's basically like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Hmm. Right.
It's like, and this is the best way to gain resilience, actually. Seeing this happen within yourself. How to gain confidence? You put yourself in a situation where you need confidence and you rock it. And then you have the confidence because you did that before. I think resilience works in a similar ways.
Hmm.
Initially, it's harder, but if you see that in your past you overcame difficult situations, whatever life gave you, and you handle that, then you have a little more confidence that, yeah, you can handle the next challenge. It's fine. You are stronger, literally. Like you are not in your original shape. You are in a better shape than
Yeah.
before, right? And that's the
And
beauty of the challenges.
and also there's a fine line between being strong and being stiff. You are stronger, but you're not stiff. You are, in fact, more flexible now. More, you're someone who can be molded in different ways because you have seen different situations, you have experienced different experiences, and now you're more flexible than ever. So I think when we say stronger, most people confuse it for someone who sticks on one thing and who is stiff with their opinions and who knows everything and who have figured out everything. I think being a resilient person is exactly the opposite. You are open to new things in life. You are open to new experiences in life because you are confident that whatever may come your way, you will be able to handle it because of your ability, resilient ability. Yeah, so yes, there lies the difference between the real strength and the just the
Yeah.
outside strength.
I think it's a good point you made there because every single challenge in your life pushes you to try something new, learn from your mistakes sometimes, or sometimes like think outside the box and figure out new solutions or do something completely different. These kind of positions put you in that state, right? And unless you are cornered, you don't think that much and you don't even think that creatively
Hmm.
sometimes.
Yeah, I can think of a situation where you're, for example, like when we talk about difficult circumstances, when we talk about adversities, a death of a loved one is something that is an unexpected event in anybody's life, and they would uh, definitely not be able to be the version of themselves that they were before the event that happened. The older version was not ready for such an event, but now this person, this new person who has emerged above this difficult circumstance, is more ready to face even bigger challenges in life, like losing a loved ones. It is like, you'll be more prepared and more not prepared, but more resilient to people drifting away from you, and it'll only make you more sensitive to understanding them, even if they drift apart, not just by death but by any other means, by choice maybe. You'll be able to accept that in life more gracefully afterwards. So yeah, I that this is I feel that this thing is significant because it leads to a more better revised self image of yours, and such things are important to happen in life.
It is, yeah. And the example you gave is like, I mean, it's one of the worst pains, right? Uh,
Hmm.
if not the
Absolutely.
worst. And that's the thing I'm talking about. Like we are talking so motivationally here, but of course there's a lot of pain in there, which we need to note it down. It's perfectly normal. Nobody will be okay if one of their loved one passes away. These situations suck. And in these situations, we feel the pain, we feel grief, we feel loss, we feel anger, we feel fear sometimes, and that's perfectly okay. But the example you gave is a good one because people react very differently in these kind of situations.
Hmm.
And people forget sometimes that, no matter how horrible things are, we either choose to move on with our lives. I'm not saying by forgetting the people who lost or something like that, with taking their love or realizing that the love they felt for them is still there and they still are connected somehow. Some people move on like that and they will be stronger than people who just keep grieving
Hmm.
and you can't move on. And that is part of resilience right there. How you react to those things. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel all the emotions. Go to the train of all the emotions because all the emotions are perfectly normal and you need all of them. Because without pain, there's no happiness. Without sadness, there's no happiness, right? But then do you get
and
back?
and also such an event catalyzes the process uh, of you discovering a new side to yourself which you didn't know you had. Like, you might not be aware that you would react this way, you are able to react this way ever, but you did, and now you know that you can do this. uh, there'll be a revised self image in your mind. There'll also be an enriched way, a very clear way in which you see your relationships in life. You'll be able to understand how temporary are they. That kind of awareness, that kind of emotional intelligence would be is a gift that
Yeah,
you get indirectly through this grieving circumstance. Like, you'll be able
yeah.
to prioritize things better, you'll be able to understand that what relationships in life really matter, and what things in life really matter. Your priorities will change, and they will change for the better. So I think everything, even if it seems to be negative and totally harsh at the superficial level, deep down everything is working in your favor. Everything is working to make you an improved and better version of yourself so that you can handle bigger things in life.
Just to add uh, to what you were speaking, it really resonated with me because actually the whole reason I think I started writing was actually happened after my dog died, Cookie.
Um,
Was back
I'm
in 2020. Yeah, so we actually grew up together, like really we had it since I was a little kid and I loved him so much. He was in Turkey with my family. And during the COVID time, he passed away. He was old, so it was natural causes. But
Mhm.
like I think until that time, I was not really um, showing my emotions. I always struggle showing my emotions, and I could never cry. I don't remember when was the last time I cried. possibly when I was a little kid, like I don't know, 4 or 5, whatever it is, I just couldn't cry. And I always struggled. Something was blocking my throat, and I couldn't really communicate any of my feelings. And when my dog passed away, Cookie, rest in peace, bud, uh, it opened the floodgates. It really opened the floodgates. I didn't cry that much in my life, and it was just a very interesting experience. It was very, very sad. I was devastated. But on the other hand, I think the years or even decades of tears were coming out, and I felt so cleansing, and I felt like I was more emotional than before, and I was able to. I was proudly communicating it, and I also saw what was the most important thing. The people need love. This love is the most important thing. Everything else is a noise. Whatever happens at work, whatever that guy said, whatever it is, these are all small things, right? That really made me think a lot about life. Of course, COVID time also, and you know, I started talking a lot more about my feelings, and I started
Hmm.
writing a lot. And actually, eventually, my writing started to take shape, and it became a
Hmm.
lean mind.
Yeah.
It would have never happened because I had a lot of like notes because I was working a lot on myself. And I was like, you know what? Life is very short. And so many things we do are meaningless. Why don't we
Right.
do a little bit meaningful things? And I suffered a lot, but I worked a lot. I figured something out. Maybe I will share with it, and other people will also be happy with it, but they can also use it. Let's have some more meaning in our lives. So that's where
Right.
the theme mind came in, actually.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Ozan. I was not aware of this incident in your life. Of course, all my love to Cookie, whoever, wherever he is, she
Yeah,
is,
he.
he is. Yeah, I'm sure he's at a happy place. Uh, and thank you for sharing all this. So being so vulnerable here in this episode. Uh, and exactly that's what I meant. Although we there are some things we know theoretically, but we don't really know how to apply them unless we actually face them. Like I am talking about dealing with death of a loved one here, but perhaps I have never been through that emotion which you have already, and I wouldn't know how would I react to such a situation if it ever happens in my life, if it's bound to happen anyway in everybody's life. So all I can say is that I know how to do it, but at that time I don't know how to do it. And whatever happens, I will figure out, and I'll discover a new side of myself, which for that time I wouldn't like, but maybe that would push me in a direction which is much needed.
It would be very difficult, but in the end, you would still come out as a different
Hmm.
person.
Right.
And that's the mindset, right? And we directly went to the like darkest ones, obviously, but of course this can be applied to a bit lighter topics as well. I don't
Yeah,
know, we
in your
can.
workplace, you can be resilient to your, the criticism around you or the politics that goes on in your team.
Yeah, anything. Like for example, I broke my hand in my last year of my university, right before the exam period, like 2 weeks before the exam period, and I'm a right-hander, right? So I write my right hand. Also, I was like, if I don't do these exams, I waste one year from my life. So I just broke this playing basketball. I closed myself into the room, and I learned to write my left hand. Now I have this completely useless skill of writing with my both hands. I can't use
Oh,
it
wow,
now, but it was cool.
that's not useless. It's good. Yeah, I didn't know you can, write with both hands. That's interesting.
Yeah, but that's a small thing. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if you have the skill or not. But it was, and I look back, it gives me a lot of power.
Right.
I overcame that. So many things can be overcome. Or even like look at the sports. Like I don't know how many. If you ever follow MotoGP, for example, ask one of the MotoGP drivers how many broken bones they have.
Hmm.
After the first broken bone, they could be like, you know what? Damn it, I'm not racing anymore. It's done. Life hates me. But no,
Mhm.
you know. I just realized actually I'm wearing the 19. Actually,
Oh yeah.
this is the number of my favorite NASCAR driver, Martin Truex Jr. It was
Okay.
actually a good coincidence now because this was not planned. And actually, his story is one of the most influential one I really like. He was racing with a team and winning a couple of races, but not so much. Kind of mediocre season with Michael Waltrip racing back in 2013, I think.
Mhm.
And something happened during that season. The team cheated to get him into the playoffs. And NASCAR realized this and they penalized the whole team. The team eventually closed down because of that huge penalty, and he was left without a ride. And nobody was wanting him because he was getting old and he couldn't really get too many wins, so nobody believed in him. So
Hmm.
next year, he finds a ride in the slowest team of NASCAR, Furniture Road Racing. It's a one-car team. They have no money. They don't have many wins before. I think they had two or something like that, quite randomly. So he joins that team, and he sucks. He sucks. It's like thinking about retirement and all these kind of things. And then next season, they change the manufacturer. They say, okay, let's try Toyota instead of Chevy. They get a new crew chief, and he starts winning. 2017, with that slowest team he joined after he lost his ride, he wins the championship in one of the most dominant fashions ever.
Wow.
All from losing your ride, losing your possibly job kind of thing to
Hmm.
to the championship. Yeah, he's still winning. He's out there retiring this year. So that's why I was wearing this film because yeah, I'm celebrating his farewell tour now.
Right. Right.
But
Totally.
this kind, all the sports you can see this thing. Also, I think it's good to also look at the sports heroes or something like that because it gives you power as well. Like never give up kind of power.
True. So true. Actually, you know. And yeah, again, thank you for sharing that. This is again so interesting. You have great anecdotes to share about resilience, I would say.
Oh, I could say I think like 1,000 uh, from my life
Hmm.
because I have been in that situations many times, which like I'm working a lot on myself,
Hmm.
but I also realize the growth is very non-linear. So life is not like this. Life is like this. But
This.
every
Yes.
after every bump, you go higher. And I have my breakdowns. I have my deep places. But what I realize in myself is like I get over them easier and easier, get over stronger and stronger than before.
Hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, actually, we were talking to Anita. Uh, well, you know her now because she was on a podcast. Uh, and she was like, "You are like the phoenix." Because day before, I was having such a breakdown. It was just a sad day. And now I realize when I'm having sad days, I just allow myself to have a sad day. And I'm like, okay, I'm sad today. Tomorrow I'll be good. So I just sit down in that sadness. Next
Yeah.
day, come out rocking. But this is the resilience. And accepting this
Hmm.
is, I think, the most important part of resilience. Accepting that there will be these moments.
Yes.
Even if life throws you a big left hand hook or you just fall down for some reason, you know that you will get back up. You'll get back on the horse. And that is, if you don't have that, no matter what you learn and so on, it will be limited because it will be over by the time life knocks you out. But if you get the resilience, you will keep what you've learned. So that's why it's one of the most important for me.
Hmm, right. And so inspiring, I would say, because you said that, growth is never linear. It is always in a zigzag. You come down, you bounce back again, you bounce higher again, and then you come back for a brief period of time, and then you go back again. And that's how take the steps upwards in life. And I think that's the only way one grows. There's no other way. Believe it or not, ironically, however it may seem from the outside that you are not moving ahead, you are coming back to where you were, internally you are actually growing because you're facing new things every day, positive, negative, happy, sad, and you are learning so much from them at your subconscious level that and you apply them. You never know when you'll be able to apply them in life. So it's a healthy and resilient response because you are looking for opportunity in the obstacle. And in fact, I would say that you're not even looking at the obstacle, you're only looking at the opportunity there. And that is what leads to a much stronger, optimistic, healthy, resilient mind. Yeah,
Opportunity in the obstacle.
right.
That's the thing. When you see the opportunity, you'll go, okay, what do I do now? Not
Hmm.
like, oh, shoot, life hates me, and I
True.
just shoot myself in the head right now.
And that's
You
such
can
a
react
one.
to both ways.
Right, and this becomes your attitude. However you react, this becomes a signature attitude of how you are as a person. So approaching everything with a mindset that I can handle it, that optimistic attitude, makes you a very attractive person overall, and it also leads to your personal growth. So we all should strive to be that person in life for everybody else. And I I have read this phrase called "this too shall pass." I'm sure you also know this. Like this too shall pass. This is a phrase that helps in every situation in life. If you're feeling too happy, you should know this will pass. This is temporary. You can enjoy in this moment, but don't be so stuck in this moment that life is always going to be happy and bubbly and fulfilled feeling. It's not going to be there always. So just remember, this too shall pass. And the same happens when you're surrounded by all negativity and sadness in life. This too shall pass.
Also in the
And
positive situation.
right, it helps you come back to your center in any situation.
Nothing lasts forever. That's a beautiful one. What you said right there. That's a key. Also in the good, and also in the bad. Nothing lasts
Right.
forever.
Right.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you, and thank you so much for opening up so much in this episode, because now I know why this topic came from you, why you gave this suggestion, because you had so much to share and it was so important for you to share it, for us to listen to it, and whoever is listening, for me, for everyone else who is listening to this episode. Thank you, Azan. Thank you, and it was such a lovely chat.
Thank you very much, Henna. So I hope everybody just goes back and realizes what they overcome, and it gives them more power, and they can think about more how they will handle next challenges. So for me, I talk about them proudly. They were big moments in my life, and I told you before that this topic is not spoken enough. So this is one
Hmm.
of the most important. So I hope that everybody gets something out of it today, and that helps them in the next challenge.
Sure. I hope for that too. Thank you so much, and happy talking. Happy listening to everybody who listened to us. Thank you so much. Do drop in your comments, your suggestions. We are open.
We love reading them. So thank you very much.
Bye
And thanks,
bye.
Anna. It was lovely to speak to you as always.
Same here, as always.
Bye.
Take. Bye bye.